can see it in your eyes. You don't wanna talk anymore. I wanna get so numb while we enemies. No, you don't mind the way I stutter my words. You know exactly what it means and how it hurts. Oh, I can't believe you're here. Can't get any worse. No, I just wanna get out of here. I find it so hard to breathe. Cause when you get too close, I lose my way and I freeze. I wish you knew what power you have over me, but now it's so hard to breathe. Just get me out of here. Just get me out of here. Just get me out of. How can you be so calm around me when I act desperately?
Alrighty, welcome. It is Tuesday, another one of those streams. But one of the things I need to clarify or need help clarifying, I did send a message to Kai Friedrichsen, who's also basically in sharp contemplation. But my question to you, DJI, or from this most recent link is Li-ons or Lipos? Let's get it straight, because the most recent leak that came out is supposed to clarify pretty much everything. And the leak I'm referring to is this leak right here. And this was Jasper Ellen's 27 leaks. And I was looking through the specs on it, and I got down to the very bottom where it says intelligent flight battery. Okay, so right where it says intelligent flight battery, it says capacity 2453. Now, Kai Friedrichsen seems to think it's a typo or a lipo. Anyway, but 2453 mAh, 80.5 grams. There's a lot of things that make sense. 7.38 volts, and then it says lithium ion. It does not say lipo. And then charging time 64 minutes, DJI 30-watt USB-C or other. So that is the information, and let me go ahead and make that a little bit bigger for us to right here to see. But right there is the information that is perplexing me. So what we want is an answer to that. So if anybody, Kai seems to think that this is a misprint, meaning that, or maybe, okay, the other option it could be is that one of the two batteries, which makes a little bit more sense, the heavier of the two, is a lithium ion battery. And from this description, they are referring to the lithium ion cell, which is the heavier of the two packs. But that is the big question that I was basically left with this last leak. So how you doing, Matt and Mike? What do you guys think about that? So in the description in this video, in this leak video, a lot of people are not excited about these short little leak video updates, but I kind of like it. It actually allows me to come in, be really specific with one idea. And but lithium ion or lipo is the real question. Anything else that came out of those statistics, basically is here. Let me just buzz over here. We got to get this one is what we want to see. I'm really not seeing anything that's very that's very poignant, except for this is the flight time on this specific, this is the one that's confusing because the flight time on this specific leak says 34 minutes. Now, if you want to go up to the 47-minute range, you're now talking Li-on pack. I prefer personally, I'm actually not liking these leaks as much as the past. I think that they've gone way too long. I think the leaks should have started much later because we still have a week left. And I'm not arguing with Kai. I wouldn't argue with Kai either. But my problem with these leaks is there's just way too many. I think it loses its luster after a while when the information keeps becoming less and less, interesting. I guess we can look at it that way. Here, let me just let me see if I can go and make this a little bigger for you guys to see. I'm just gonna go and open this up with a photo so I can, let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. That's what we want right there. We want to be able to move it around. But here, let me just turn that down there. But right here, you're getting all this maximum speed and S mode and all this really interesting stuff. Can we go full screen with that? We can go full screen right there. But this is where the confusion starts, and then you get down to the bottom here, and you get this Li-on, which hopefully this person that's writing up these these spec sheets, you can't think they're doing it on purpose. But 34 minutes, 18 kilometers. Yeah, all right. That's 9 out and 9 back. We'll see. We'll check that out. Wind resistance. Now, this is the other one. I keep getting, this is the other thing that's really bugging me with people that are talking about this. And one of the most common questions that is coming out is, can I fly this Mini in windier conditions? And now you got to think this way. Now, if you're asking this question, I'm answering it for you. If you've got a drone that weighs 250 grams, and the next model is 250 grams, and the next model is 250 grams, and all of them suck in the wind, and they're all displacing the same amount of wind with relatively different amounts of power between them all, they're basically facing the same problem. And anybody that wants to go to this Mini platform, you're going to have to go down to a much smaller, more than likely to get this thing to be more wind resistant. You'd have to really tighten down the surface area. So it gets down to surface area. So this is going to be very, very much the same. It says basically level class 5. The other thing you should know in the global navigation front, this one has got the same GPS navigation tools that the Mavic 3 has. So it says satellite system GLONASS, but GPS, Galileo, Daibao, Babao, wait around for a long time now. It's going to take a while. So we did get the quick shot list there. We've got the the other ranges. The aperture is finally on there. Field of view, 82.1 degrees. So basically about like that. There's 82 degrees. I can show you 82 degrees right there. Yeah. I should have a calipers for that, or I should have an angle finder. But I don't. There has been one leak promoter that has been talking about the Wi-Fi issue, and I really like his introspection. That's I can't remember. It's Air. Does anybody know the name of what's its Air? I can't remember his. It's not drone supremacy. It's anyway. But he talked about the Wi-Fi issue and brought up the fact that the Wi-Fi is helpful in short range situations. You can get Wi-Fi way out there, guys. I've flown a Wi-Fi powered basically transmission drone almost 2 miles, or well into 2 miles. So Wi-Fi is not necessarily bad, but it can help you when you're close up. So it says, the fact that you bring it up, I've never understood that. All these drones are coming up to under 250 mark. How much longer a motor, let's see, it says much, I'd say hunger, of a motor and smaller of a unit do you have to have in order, let's see, combat high winds. It's about surface area. If you can make it more compact, like for example, I'll give you an example, the Spark. Since the Spark was more compact, it basically had more wind resistance. You could really push the Spark against the wind. It didn't have as much, since the Mini is so light, it's so like, it's made to be buoyant almost. So that's really, so the number one rule for Mike Henrik is that you need to go with a heavier drone. You need more weight and you need more power pushing it. So there is a sweet spot there, and they could reduce the body size down, but I don't think you start to get into issues about camera size and so everything basically has a downside and an upside. So never sell your Air 2S. I told the person that had the Air 2S that was thinking about going Mini, they're a real estate photographer, and I totally understand the fact that they were bringing up the idea that in real estate, you really need to get the pictures up, and because you need to get the pictures up, you need to fly in some conditions that aren't so optimum. But just fly in the evenings. The best photographs are in the morning and the evenings. The wind is usually less. But if you want to stay under the sub 250 and your issue is you live in the UK, which is another person, now you're dealing with the issue of drone laws, and you can't do anything about that. So then you're sub 250 anyway. So anyway, would that be more aerodynamic, the better wind resistance? Yeah, you want more aerodynamics. But I wouldn't say, would you say that the Spark is more aerodynamic than, now this one is not, if we look at let me just move over to my main scene here. If we look at this thing, it does seem to lose a bit of its aerodynamics. It just seems that way. But we have not wind tunnel tested this thing. And that would be a really interesting test, to take the aerodynamics of this one, hang it up, and then put it next to the original Mini 1 and have them compare their This one looks more compact in the center. It does look like it's more aerodynamic in spots like where the eyeballs are. There is that air scoop in the front that is counterintuitive to aerodynamics. You got to understand that it's going to be flying in this respect, so the aerodynamics are different than just say to the front. So you have to, and then of course now our camera moves up, so we've got a camera that now is more conducive to the faster aerodynamics. I think the key is the Lipo. I think the improvement for the Mavic 1 when it went to Mavic 2 was the Lipo batteries that were used in the second version. I think this one will have a Lipo and I think a Li-on, and this is what Kai Friedrichsen was suggesting, Lone Star UAV, for you guys that don't know him. So thank you, Lone Star. Like I said, he did, these were the comments that Lone Star made. Let me just read them to you. And he says the voltage, this is Lone Star UAV. Voltage is too high for the Li-on weight. Weight doesn't look right either. So he's looking the weight, because a Li-on is heavier. It's a more power dense package. Some capacity as to the Lipo, same capacity as the Lipo. I would say someone filled this out incorrectly. So that's Kai Friedrichsen right there, and his point of view based upon battery information. So I want to make sure that Kai got credit where credit was due right there. But yeah, so that was kind of my thoughts. I don't know if Kai, if there's something else you thought of since you sent me that message, but I really do. There is still the remote chance that the technology has changed. But it would be very unlikely that, and more than likely it was a combination of two different batteries being talked about. And I am super excited about the long range battery, the heavier cell. I am going to fly with that. I pick a good day, and flying with the long range cell allows you to, first of all, there's more weight. But in dealing with the wind, you just got to be smart. If it's too windy, don't fly. And if it's windy, you should probably test out your flight, maybe fly upwind if you're going to go a long distance, and then use the wind to your advantage on the return flight. So those kinds of things. But other than that, Li-on or Lipo, I think that's still a question that we're going to be, thinking about. Once again, they tried to give us information to clarify things by giving us this, this massive, bill of sale on this product. And let me just see. Let me just open up the other one here really quick, right there. And sometimes, when you give answers, you sometimes create more questions, and that's really what's happened here. So, but very happy. I think you're as excited as I am. I mean, I think the hype for this has never been greater. That's always been my point. Why would you put that small of a drone up in the air if it's extremely windy? Yeah, guys, when I'm flying in the wind, I fly Mavic 3, and not everybody can do that. But you could also go Air 2S. Understand the Air 2S has its limitations in the wind too. I have been weirded out by wind currents with that. It does fight the wind well. It is very aerodynamic. It is very well built. It is more compact. It's got good power to weight ratio. But get it down low, fly on the terrain. And you can fly the terrain with the Air 2S. I mean, it's got surface hugging capability. So, all right. And my answer to you, Air 2S people, once again, stay with the Air 2S. Let's test this thing out. Let's find out some of the problems. Let the reviewers review. There are different size Li-on batteries out there, but a 2-cell Li-on battery with around 2,500 mAh capacity will not come up in at 80 grams. It'll be closer to 125 grams to 145 grams. That is Kai Friedrichsen's statement. And and as much as he is basically we've tested out weights with FPV quads. There's been no like we call a monumental changes in that physics. So, all right, I think I'm done. I think I've talked this one out, but very interesting. I think this is a real interesting question that some other channels should possibly maybe bring up. But you've heard it here first. And I like to think differently, and I think it's important that we think differently and we look at things in a different way to basically unravel all of the different possibilities that this thing will bring us. But we will never know the truth until the truth hits us in the controller. Okay, so it says Li-on battery have a lower nominal voltage, and that's the other problem is the voltage level. And that is, in like Kai's first statement, there is a conflict in this dynamic right here with the weight. I wish I had a 2-cell Li-on. You'd have to have a 2-cell, possibly 2P is where they're going with that one. So 2-cell 2P. To get that 40-minute flight time is what we're thinking. 2-cell 2P, that's 4 cells. That's so heavy. It is so heavy. So I don't know if that's really, maybe just a typo. Maybe it's Lipo, okay, instead of a typo. All right. All right, Web Local, okay. How are you doing this afternoon? It is only Tuesday, but since it is Tuesday, I've got to be short, and I've got to go. So ponder that, and maybe, thank you, Matt. I really appreciate that. Ponder that idea And let's see where this heads. I'm excited. I hope every one of you guys on this stream and ones that are listening and check this stream out later are thinking about buying this bird. This will be fun. I don't think this will disappoint one bit. I'm betting the farm on this bird, meaning that I'm going all in. And I actually been watching some of my old DJI FPV footage, because I had some questions about that. A kid was asking about the camera mount. Why would you mount a camera on top of a good camera? Is the DJI camera not that good? And my answer to that was no, it's really good. I've gotten really good footage out of that. It's all about flying. It's your ability to control the roll and pitch and to get the smoothness. Now, all they got to do with that is sell us put some the gyroscope data with the camera, and dang, they've got it. We can real steady that stuff. So, all right, 2S2P and 18650 would weigh about 220 grams. Holy freaking, that is, that's freaking heavy, guys. That's double the weight of the drone. So, but hey Kai, but it's got bigger props. It's got bigger props. It is a big lift bird. I bet you those are 4 inches total when we measure them. So. All right. So anyways, one of you guys, we'll get that measurement for you and we'll check that out. But those props, from end to end, do we have basically a 4-inch bird, possibly? Maybe close to 5-inch, 4.5? Okay. So Mr. Vegas 06, hey, how you doing? Dude, buy part and build your own drone. Yeah. You're preaching to the choir. The choir here is both is on both camps. I am an FPV. I'm not much of a builder. I'm creative, but I'm different. I'm like video creative. I'm not building electronic. My eyes suck. But I'm going to give you some more excuses. But hey, Mr. Vegas, I'm going to get you on the moderation. Let me get you in moderation real quick here. I'm just going to go out here. But I appreciate you popping in, Mr. Vegas. Always good to get new folks in. I just got to run over to the site. But that's really where we're going to be, where I want to end it today. I want to end it with where's this thing going? Is it going to be this, this hybrid bird, with the Lipo Li-on packs, which I hope it is. I'm a huge fan of Li-on packs. I got excited when I saw Li-on, but sometimes when you see that, it's not necessarily what they actually meant. For example, when Kai basically said that could be a mistake, I can totally agree with him on that. So here, I just got to buzz over to my channel here and get into. There we go. I wanted to. Let's see. Where's Mr. Vegas? There you are. Let me hit you. Thank you for popping in. Really do appreciate anybody new. Matt, thank you. Kai, thank you always so much for your input. Yeah, I have actually a new drone that basically popped by. Nothing fancy, but I'm actually going to put up a video soon on that. So it's not going to be a fast drone. Nope. No, it won't. But guys, I am out of here. Got things to do. It's Tuesday. Later. Thank you for popping in for this short stream. There it is. They're right back behind me. Look at those big A props. Those are some big ass props. Later. Bye.